Off the point!
You can forget about Zach Butters and Bailey Humphrey straight away. Day one of trade murmurs and trade period in the books, and nothing happened across the league. 2 free agency confirmations or moves done. Jacob Weir to Port Adelaide, Charlie Spargo to North Melbourne. That doesn't impact us at all, except for Spargo to North Melbourne, because Melbourne gets an end of second round compensation pick for Spargo. That's pick 41. And they may not want to dilute that pick or lose that pick altogether for Brodie Mihocek. So, in regards to Mihocek to Melbourne, which, by the way, it's going to happen regardless, whether it's through free agency by Friday or in a trade by next Wednesday or in the rookie draft or possibly a national draft, whatever. Brodie Mihocek 2026 is going to be on Melbourne's playing list, whether we like it or not. But Melbourne may not want to pay up pick 41 or anything above that for Brodie Mihocek. They may want to orchestrate a trade instead for a solid third rounder, somewhere late 40s, early 50s, whatever. Given it's a 2-year deal and Brodie Mihocek only has 2 years left in him. Maybe a third year as well, but don't expect a simple trade for Mihocek to Melbourne to be anything of significance in terms of trade or draft picks coming in for Collingwood, unless Brodie Mihocek is the sweetener in a deal for Collingwood to get Clayton Oliver. The first bit of news Monday morning was Collingwood are linked to Clayton Oliver. Again, nothing major happening for Collingwood or any other team besides free agency moves today. But there was list managers doing brief interviews at AFL House. Every list manager from every club was interviewed, kind of like the intro or the first episode of Survivor or Big Brother, just introducing us to the characters. I don't give a shit, but I do give a shit about Justin Leppitsch and his comments, because I think he had the longest interview of everyone. Justin Leppitsch covering a few areas, certain players as well, what we're going to be doing, what we're not going to be doing, who we're linked to, who we're not linked to after all. But again, the news this morning, Collingwood being linked to Clayton Oliver. Justin Leppitsch was asked about this morning. Swoop Luke, Pies Footy have talked about this. Go check out their videos. They've got the full clips or the context of it. I'm just going to go over the brief summary and quotes from Justin Leppitsch today. So just being linked to Clayton Oliver, we're just going through our due diligence on that one. Obviously, it came in late last week, bordering on the weekend. We got the call from his management and thought we'd definitely do the work. It's a position of need for us, so on face value, it's a good thing to look into. We'll probably know in the next couple of days whether we are going to progress with that, and I'll back Leppitsch on that. Are we going to go in on this sort of deal or not? We haven't spoken to him. He's obviously up in Sydney at the moment. He's already met with GWS and Adam Kingsley, and then he's off to America for a holiday. We'll get through the first parts, and if we want to get to a meeting, I might have to get on a plane. He won't be getting on a plane. It's pretty straightforward. I think we'll know on any interest for Clayton Oliver by the end of this week, particularly surrounding a possible trade deal involving Brodie Mihocek and late picks involved. He was also asked about what a trade would look like. We haven't gone down that pathway yet. We had a brief chat with Melbourne about what a deal could look like. It's somewhat similar to what was reported. We just want to get through the first parts. Is he good for Collingwood and vice versa? So that's the basic gist of Clayton Oliver. He's linked to GWS. He's linked to Collingwood. That's pretty much what it's going to be, I reckon. I don't think Adelaide will be involved after all. He's either going interstate to GWS or he's staying in Victoria playing with Collingwood. I don't think he's going to be staying at Melbourne, given the reports there of possibly playing in the VFL and how they're not valuing him. And as I said in my last video, I think Melbourne have shown their hand on this. I don't think they're going to expect any major deal done or anything of value to come in to have Clayton Oliver out to another club while still paying half of his contract. Maybe GWS offers up their first rounder or second rounder, but Collingwood doesn't have a lot to work with draft picks. I have floated the possibility of our 2027 first rounder to just open up this trade period for us and make other moves from that point on. But towards Clayton Oliver, maybe not so much unless we get something major from Melbourne in return. And again, just being linked to Melbourne, Brodie Mihocek going to Melbourne. The Charlie Spargo free agency move was done today. He's off to North Melbourne. Melbourne getting pick 41. Melbourne will likely not use pick 41 or above to get Brodie Mihocek in the door in the trade. Definitely not a future second or anything like that. So that's all I watch this space. A bit of moving parts on that one. Speaking of watch this space, I did see the list manager from Port Adelaide, his quote on Zach Butters staying at Port Adelaide this year and also playing for them next year, how there's no such thing or there's not going to be a watch this space on Zach Butters this year. I don't think it's directed at me or anything like that, but at least it puts it to bed straight away, particularly with Zach Butters and a few other players as well. I won't pursue this. I don't think Collingwood's going to ask the question unless Zach Butters kicks the door down, kicking and screaming on this. But that's Zach Butters out of the way. There was an update on Jack Buller. Justin Lepage making comment on that. He wanted to get the deal done already, as stated in the start of this video. There's been no trade deals done officially as of this recording, just after 5 o'clock. So if I record this, complete it, and there's been updates, don't go down my throat on this one. But in regards to Jack Buller, his quote, Justin Lepage on this was, in about 15 minutes I could, in regards to getting a trade done. But all the players sit there nervously and just want to get their deals done. We've all got a lot of things to do, hopefully early, but you never know. Just for Sydney, they are linked to Charlie Curnow. They're linked to Malcolm Roses coming in. A few other moving parts for Sydney as well. So I thought Jack Buller would be at Collingwood in the first day or two, or maybe by Wednesday, but I expect this to be done in the final day. Just something that just creeps through, I reckon. Not a last minute thing, but just getting Jack Buller through. Other clubs getting their deals done. Sydney have bigger fish to fry. I think we've got bigger fish to fry as well. That's just in the back corner for now for Jack Buller. So we'll wait on that by next week, I reckon. Any updates on that, I'll be on to it. But it did get me thinking as well about Jack Buller to Collingwood. This almost feels like a replenishing of Brodie Mihocek. That's a weird way of putting it, but Brodie Mihocek was 25 years old when he made his debut for Collingwood. Jack Buller next year will turn 25 playing for Collingwood. So can we get 8 good seasons out of Jack Buller for 159 games, 267 goals in grand finals? We'll find out. Probably unlikely in all likelihood, but yeah, massive, I guess, not improvement, but 8 years of Mihocek, then another solid contribution from Jack Buller as a mature age key forward for us. I swear, if Jack Buller doesn't come to Collingwood after all, it's on me. So I'll say nothing more on Jack Buller for today. Other quotes and comments from Justin Lepage today in regards to Bailey Humphrey. He said there was no meeting this year. There's been a meeting last year, selling the vision and whatnot. He's a Gold Coast player. They're adamant that they're not going to make a trade for him. We will respect his wishes of the club and the player as well. If that changes, great. If not, it is what it is. So I don't think Bailey Humphrey's leaving at this stage. Gold Coast have confirmed there's going to be no trade or any sort of updates there. Bailey Humphrey has met with Melbourne and recently Hawthorn, but for them, that's a watch this space. I don't think Bailey Humphrey's coming to Collingwood this year or anytime soon. Stephen May, it's official. We will not be pursuing Stephen May. We went through the work and got to the end point of that one. Unfortunately, you said to Stephen, he's a good fella. We wish him well. That's pretty much it. Thank the heavens, thank the hells, thank whoever we need to thank. Stephen May not coming to Collingwood. I know it's a cultural thing. Yes, Clayton Oliver is linked to Collingwood. Doesn't make sense to celebrate Stephen May not coming in, but Clayton Oliver. Clayton Oliver would be our second best midfielder. Stephen May is a stopgap key defender. So that's why I'm leaning towards Clayton Oliver coming in instead of Stephen May coming in. Other updates more on our players. Bobby Hill, Justin Lepage confirming that we are working through it with Bobby Hill in terms of his personal circumstances and whatnot. But unless something major happens, expect Bobby Hill to stay at Collingwood, hopefully returning to AFL level in 2026. Mason Cox is a wait and see approach right there, depending on our list changes, list management moves and whatnot. Mason Cox and also Tom Mitchell are in limbo. Tom McGuan, Justin Lepage commenting on it. We couldn't commit to him in the draft. There's obviously still potential for the rookie draft or by another club in the national draft. He tested well at the combine. Credit to him. He put his head down and has worked hard. That's where it sits right now. And I think Tom McGuan will be on an AFL list by the end of November, whether it's through the national draft or the rookie draft or anything extra like that. He's a good athlete, but just not built for AFL level just yet. He will require a full pre-season, playing a full season of footy with the big boys in the VFL, and who knows from there. But he's a very athletic kid, smart user of the footy, gets the ball, accumulates well, just I don't know, playing for the Western Jets, doesn't get the recognition, didn't perform majorly well at state level or the state combine, so that might be a major factor as well. Not so much the be all end all, but being projected as a top end pick or first rounder, falling down to the second round category all the way down to as low as pick 60 or even being undrafted. Maybe Tom McGuan plays as a top ager next year in the Coates League. That's a bigger drop off there, but hopefully Tom McGuan is on an AFL list. He's the son of a Collingwood great, so just being a bit biased there. I know some people are upset by it, given it's a McGuan, the name, the tradition, the value there. Number 34 was vacant this year for a good reason, and now that's changed. But I do think not pursuing Tom McGuan does mean we are brewing something the next week in regards to landing either a big fish, or this might be a bit unpopular, and I might make a separate video on this, or maybe do it, we'll talk about it or elaborate on this tomorrow. Could we get into the first round of this year's draft, find a young midfielder that can work alongside Nick Dacos for the future, and go from there? I might discuss that either tomorrow or in a future video. But I like to keep saying it's all a watch this space. Hopefully, no list managers, any opposition list managers or clubs or whatever, use my quotes going forward. No more cliches. Just let me use the cliches. No updates on me if I'm going to be rookie drafted or anything like that. It's all a watch this space. Hoping you guys had a good Monday. Please be well. Please be safe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Up the pies. Up the pies!